Hey everyone, this is Marie, chef and owner of The Proper Palate. So tonight I'm doing my first vlog. Yeah, it's a video blog, and of course I'm going to be self-conscious by looking at myself. Um, so I never vlogged before, so I'm kind of excited to do this. So I'm taking my blog and I'm putting it in video for your viewing pleasure. So I want to talk about food. There's a shocker. So I got this nice little microphone here too. It's professional. So I want to ask you guys, what's for dinner? Oh, wait. Okay, yes. What's for dinner is the biggest, most uttered phrase in every household from here to Timbuktu because people have a difficult time trying to see what they want for dinner. I don't know why, but it just is. And I think it's because one, people just don't like to cook. Two, they don't know how to cook. And three, they are pressed for time. So it becomes difficult for them to figure out what they want. So it's actually become so popular that the internet is exploding with memes everywhere. Like when I tell you memes, I'm saying like you have a guy who is sitting there. It's usually a woman who can't decide what to eat, obviously. It's stereotypical. So they'll say, okay, the guy's sitting there in the meme and he looks normal, then he's basically a skeleton by the time he waits for his wife or girlfriend to decide what she wants to eat. So it's funny stuff like that that is really bringing attention to our need for food and how it surrounds our lives and consumes us, really. So there's two things I want to discuss tonight. One, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. Just so you know, this is like my fifth take, okay? I've gone over 20 minutes and I don't want to do that. So, two things. These box meal companies. So I have family members that order from them and love them. I tried them myself just to see how they are. Mixed reviews from me. So what I'm trying to get at is I want to know, one, where their food is coming from, and two, their carbon footprint. So these are two things that are concerning me, and I don't have answers yet, and I'm still trying to investigate with each of these different companies and trying to get information. So I am trying to be an informed consumer so I can inform you, and I think it's only fair to do that. I'm in the industry, and I do things very differently. I'm not here to discuss what I do, but I want to talk to you about what they do, and I want to inform you and keep you informed. So that's my job. So have you asked yourself when you order with these companies where your food is coming from, right? So a lot of these companies tout themselves to be organic, or they say, we're local, we locally source. Okay, well, I know that's not the case. None of these companies are locally sourcing. It's impossible, and I'm going to explain why. First, you need to know one thing about them. They are huge factories. They are huge factories that are pumping out food. Okay, so they have conveyor belts, they have people, quality assurance, and it is like a full-on factory with food delivery because they're shipping out thousands of packages a day to homes all across the country, right? So you have someone like myself who has this many customers, and we're delivering them statewide, and these guys are doing thousands of packages not worldwide, but countrywide. So there's a big difference, and I'll tell you the one big difference is I myself, when I built my company, I purposely said I'm going to source farm to table. That is not just a saying, that is a lifestyle. So everything I get is locally sourced, or it's close to it, and I'm using amazing organic farmers, purveyors of meat, and I always provide my customers with the best because if I don't eat it, I don't want them to eat it. These large factories, on the other hand, are pumping out boxes and boxes of food. So this leads me to a story. So I got a customer, Leanna, and she ended up, she's like a busy mom, has two kids, her and her husband work. And she ordered one of these box meals, and to her chagrin, or not chagrin, I should say, she was horrified. She was completely horrified by what she saw in this box when she opened it. So she got the box on Friday, was going to cook it for Saturday, cooking all day Saturday. It was like a pot roast meal. And she got some other things on the side, like she got some cheese and this and that because she wanted to make sides and have a selection. She was going to be feeding 6 people. The problem was the the chuck roast for the pot roast was about yay big. Now, anybody who cooks pot roast or anything knows that it shrinks. So it goes from here to here, and now you're not feeding as many people. So she didn't know that, but she could tell by the look of it. She's like, I don't think this is gonna feed 6 people. Then she got some wilted lettuce, moldy cheese, goes on and on and on. So this isn't the first time I've heard this, but the fact now that I'm getting customers through this attrition of they don't want to deal with these companies because they're so unhappy with the quality, that's a problem. So I really want to know what's happening. Like, how did her food go bad? Where's her food coming from? Like, why isn't there any quality? Is there quality assurance? Are there people rotating food? What's happening? Is there first in, first out? Like, again, these are questions that I have because I don't want to see people I know go there and have the same experience. My experience was a little bit different. I tried different companies because I wanted to see for myself, and there was only one company that did really well. The rest of them were just subpar. They were grocery quality produce. The meat, not so great. I don't know where they were sourcing their meat from. One was very tough when I made it. So again, I just not sure. So went back to Leanna. So we were able to provide her with a pot roast meal. I kind of pulled a rabbit out of my hat, or as my one new client tells me, I'm a kitchen magician, which I think is pretty funny, and it's flattering. But yeah, we were able to make her pot roast so that her and her family can eat. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to. So from there, I question you guys. I question you because I want to know, when you order from these companies, do you ever ask where your food is coming from? Like, are you curious where your food is coming from? I mean, what happened to conscious eating? So things that are going from the table, like where it's coming from, and then it's going into your body, aren't you concerned how that was treated or where it's coming from? I know I am. Food, and I need to explain this to people, food is living. Okay, so in Leanna's case, the wilted lettuce and the moldy cheese, it was dead. So if she was going to eat that, she was eating dead food, and now when you eat dead, you become dead. You know, think about it in those terms. I know that's kind of deep and a little bit waxing poetic in some way, or over philosophical, but it is true that your food is life, and then that goes into your body, which is alive. So if you're eating dead food, you become that food. So you don't want to eat dead things, you know. I just had this conversation with someone today and tried to explain it, and I think she understood. So the other part of it is, so if they're not sourcing local, and the reason I say they're not sourcing local is because I know about organic farming, right? Excuse me. I know about organic farming. Organic farming is an art. It is small farms. It could even be big organic farms. But even the big organic farmers can't yield, they just cannot yield enough produce to supply, you know, these big factories, these big box pushing food companies. There's no way that they could provide that much food. And purveyors, meat purveyors, there's no way that they could provide that much. I mean, you'd have to go and source from all these different local farms. So I highly doubt that they're doing that. And, you know, just saying, even if they don't say that they're local, you're still getting organic produce. Great. You think you're eating healthy. Think again. We need to eat seasonal. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you go to the grocery store in the dead of February, like dead of winter, right? And you get those little containers of like cherry tomatoes. go look at the container. Okay, go look to see where it's from. Go see where they picked that from. I'm telling you right now, if it's not California, it's going to be Mexico. And the problem with South America is that their organic standards are very different than the United States. So the United States treats their organic farming. We don't use arsenic. Okay, well, you don't have to be a scientist or anyone of genius to know that arsenic is on the table of elements and it's natural. Now, parts of South America and Mexico, they use this, and they don't have the same regulations as us. So you're essentially intaking arsenic and God knows what else. I mean, let's face it, when you're getting stuff from overseas, you don't know what you're getting. So you have to do research. You have to look to see where your organic vegetables are coming from. So you think you're eating healthy, but you're probably exposing yourself to way more. So skip it. Try to eat seasonal when you can. I'm not going to be sitting here providing people squash in the dead of winter. Like in March, before it's even harvested or whatnot, or eating pumpkins in March. Obviously, that's not something, unless you're freezing it and you're doing something like that, I get it. But when you want fresh produce and things of that nature, it's totally different. So that's where my skepticism comes in. It's like, okay, well, Murray, what are you getting at? I don't understand. So what if it's not locally sourced? So what if at least it's organic? Well, that's my point. I just want you to pay attention to see where your produce is coming from, where your meats are coming from, because other countries have different standards than us. It's just a total different ball game over there. So the other part of this is their carbon footprint. So I don't understand I ordered from this company, a few companies, and I had so much garbage, I didn't know what to do with it. They give you like these big coolers, and then there's inside, and that's inside this other big box, which is supposedly, I guess it's recycled, but you still have to recycle it. It's still garbage. It still needs to go somewhere. And there's stuff that you cannot compost. There's stuff that's not biodegradable. So they're giving you these foam coolers. And I saw it. I got the foam cooler. I was like, well, what the hell am I going to do with this? I said, it's a great cooler, like it's super sturdy and great, but it's a waste. It's creating waste. It's a huge carbon footprint. And I had my financial advisor and I were just talking about this the other day, and she had said, oh my God, Maria, I ordered from one of these companies, and I tried it, and they gave me this big foam cooler. Again, something that you can't break down. So she's really smart. She gardens. She eats healthy. And she was like, well, maybe I could break it up, break the foam up. And if it absorbs water, maybe I could put that and spread that in my garden. And then the garden will absorb more water, so I don't have to water it as much. It wasn't the case. She realized that it was coated with like some sort of clear coating, spray, plastic, whatever it was. Bottom line is that you can't break this stuff down. We have landmines. I say landmines because it's pretty much like a landmine. When you have that much garbage, you have to blow it up and try to make room for more garbage. These landfills are just, you have nowhere to put this stuff. And if it doesn't break down, where do you put it? Now, what if you try to burn it? Now, if it's a chemical, now you're talking like carbon emissions, VOCs, all sorts of chemicals that are releasing into the clouds and affecting the environment. So I'm very environmentally conscious. So again, when I started this company, my other thing was, okay, guys, we need to use the smallest containers possible, and we need to use the safest containers possible. So I worked with a guy, and I got these pulp containers, and the pulp containers are biodegradable. They are they're made of sugar cane, and you can burn them, and they won't affect the environment, and we're not getting any emissions in the air. It's fantastic. So these are the types of things that I want to bring to your attention. I'm not here to talk about my business and what I do, but we do hold ourselves to a higher code of ethics with how we handle our food, how we deal with our food, where we get our food from, and what we serve it in. So we want to be as environmentally, responsible, and we want to provide our customers with the best quality. And that's really it. And these other companies out there, I just don't understand, and I don't understand you guys. Like, I get it for the convenience, but it's so crucial that when you live local, shop local, support local. It's just like, as a small business owner, that's just so near and dear to my heart. You keep your friends close and your farmers closer. These guys are out there busting their butts and doing the best they can for you to provide the best food to the community. And I think buying locally grown food just totally beats out, going to a grocery store and getting food from other countries. It's just, I don't want to be a part of that. Yeah, there's sometimes you're in a pinch and you need to go to a grocery store in the winter because you have a customer that wants tomatoes and they want fresh tomatoes. Okay, well, they're going to get fresh tomatoes from Mexico. And I try to tell my clients that and say, look, guys, I really don't want to do that. That's holding yourself at a standard, above the rest. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm so happy I did it just over 15 minutes. I cut 5 minutes out of my time. So please leave some comments. Let me know how you feel. Give me your experiences that you've had with these companies. I would love to hear, because I hear stories. Obviously, I'm sharing them with you. I want to hear your stories and your feedback. So I appreciate it. And we'll see you back here maybe next week. I'm thinking if I might be a little bit busy, so it might be the following week. We're going to do another one and pick another topic. Give us a topic to talk about too. Tell us what you want. Ask questions, something. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.